versus Israel as the sectional rounds begin to conclude at this year's tournament. We waited 7 long years, and what a tournament it has been. But it is Dawn Heyman, Lindsay Clark, and Kelsey Cottrell up against Kani Amit, Amalea Levy, and Ruth Galor. The Israeli team sitting in 4th position in Section 1 of the women's triples. Australia well and truly through with a game to go after this, so they would be well and truly hoping that they can, or actually with, I think this is the last game of the section, so Australia well and truly through and looking forward to the knockout stages tomorrow. Val Febo here with you, Barry Lester joining me. Baz, really looking forward to this one as we get towards the end of Lindsay Clark's international career.
Yeah, good opportunity for the players just to get a good feel of things here. They might have maybe shied away from a couple of, shot selections or length selections, etc. in previous games. But I feel this is a good opportunity for the Aussies to get out there, really back themselves in, maybe try some different shots, and try and experience everything the game has to offer pre-heading into the finals, because you don't want to get to the finals and probably have not experienced most things or tried most things, and so if they can, in terms of lengths and shot selection, if they can, it'll put them in good stead come finals.
11:30 is when this match is due to get underway, and the Australians have enjoyed a brilliant start to this competition in the women's triples, having not lost yet from their matches. A bye in the opening round, then a win over Hong Kong, China, Argentina, Botswana, and Fiji yesterday. And then Ireland as well. 20-8 was the final match of the day yesterday. Currently, this section sees Israel sitting in 4th position. Unfortunately for them, they can't get through. The winner of Ireland and Hong Kong, China will be the ones to get through. That match happening a couple of rinks over, so we'll bring you updates as to what's happening there. As trying to count down, and he got the countdown absolutely spot on. The horn does go off, and it will be the Israelis to get us underway. So Israel's tournament so far fell to Hong Kong, China in the opening round before a win over Argentina, and then another one over Botswana and Fiji, before falling to Ireland in their final match of the day yesterday. Had they won that, they would have been in a very handy position. But Kani Amit, Amalea Levy, and Ruth Galor.
36 metres, long jack roll, straight up, Val. Maybe that's a plan against the Aussies.
Might just be.
Yeah, long end, all right. Heading in the north direction, so we've switched directions. Beautiful start. That's right down the back there. Nice. As you see, nice wide drawing arc there. Good start by Israel.
Israel, all 3 of them using Aero Optima.
Love to go there one day. Heard good things.
So have I. A lot of history there as well.
I'm happy to be wrong, Val, but I think it is Alex Marshall's favourite place.
Really?
That he's played bowls. Now, a friend of mine, Michael Stangy, an old teammate of mine, he lives down in Victoria, used to represent Israel many, many years ago and lives in Victoria. And, I've only heard good things about Israel, and I'm pretty sure, and like I said, I'm happy to be wrong, but I reckon Alex Marshall's been quoted to say that's one of his most favourite places on earth, Israel.
There you go.
So Australia, Dawn Heyman, 4 foot short with her first. Good little sider, line-wise, just a bit more weight. She's added the weight and got another one in there. So Israel need to get something inside 2 feet to try and score here.
The format is 2 bowl triples. So each bowler will have 2 bowls, so 6 bowls each for the end. 18 ends, 2 hours and 15 minutes is the time limit. Australia, they are through. They will be featuring in tomorrow's quarterfinal.
And Val, something that's caught my eye
What's caught your eye?
immediately. Now, I'm gonna have to work on the pronunciations. I'm sorry for the players' names, and you're gonna have to keep helping me.
Yep.
Because you're doing such a great job there, mate. They should be paying you double with those pronunciations. I just saw Israel's second play deliver that bowl absolutely perfect. What a beautiful technique.
Amalia Levy.
Has. Good teamwork there, mate.
Yeah.
But
You loop it up and I'll finish it off.
Let's check this out. So nice setup, nice and low, good bend from the torso. Goes into a nice bend in the knees and a beautiful extension. Watch this. Oh, that is silk.
It's the only thing that's wrong with it, Barry, she's not a lefty.
Yeah, I know, but the way that those two bowls came out, that's a lot of that for me is just that forward motion and balance. But we're actually... we're in the box seat to see the bowls coming out of her hand here as we just sit on the balcony and admiring these world-class players do their thing. And for me, I just love seeing a bowl come out so smooth like that. And full credit to a lot of these players that put a lot of work into their deliveries. But for Amelia Levy, what a delivery that is. And well done to her. Well done to her. So we see Argentina next door. We've got Israel, Australia. We've got Canada, Hong Kong, China, Thailand, Scotland, England. We've got a bit of everything.
Yep.
Of course, Ireland and Hong Kong, China in a battle next door. It's all happening here. North-south direction. France over there, v Scotland, all blue.
So, Nigel Thompson just... saying that another Australian game, of course, as we have alluded to all week, we are Bowls Australia. We will tend to stream the Australians because that's who we're here to cover as a media team. But there is also the other stream that we are providing. The Gold Coast Tweed District guys doing an amazing job. And if you do want to watch that other stream, you can do so. It's right here on the Bowls Australia Facebook page. So you can jump on, and that is... going to be, that's at Musgrave Hill.
Just kind of grass.
Scotland and the Cook Islands in the women's pairs. So if you want to watch that, all yours. Plenty of bowls coming your way from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, well said, Val. It's a great initiative by Bowls Australia. Not only do they cover the Australian games for our, we've got 250,000 members out there intrigued and interested in how the Aussies are going. So we've isolated the streaming to those Aussie games and created another platform for all the other games, and it's just a great initiative. And while we've got you, Nigel, who will win this match, mate? And can we get a score prediction, maybe?
So the Australians currently down one here. Israel have started things well. They've had a really good tournament, sitting in 4th spot.
So just falling short. On a good line, though.
Oops, Galore is she came up to me before and said, maybe we can swap things around and you can play and I'll sit up there. And I said, no, you're definitely more well-equipped than me to be out on the green.
Kelsey Cottrell, 5 stars on her cap. Remember when she played her first game for Australia those years ago?
Was it, Barry
That's
Lester?
correct. Asia Pacific Games at Darebin City, the host of the 2006 Commonwealth Games. Trying to turn some Aussie bowls up into the head. Will it stay for shot?
Just go past.
Not quite.
Israel, they controlled the mat and they win the opening end here. Kani Amit, Amelia Levy and Ruth Galore take the opener here. 18 ends, that's of course what we're heading to. We will play all of the allotment of 18 because shots up matter in the sectional rounds. Anton Lee, it was Lindsay's 450th international cap. Baz, are you going to head over to the Coburn Bowling Club again?
Well, I hope I can. I'm looking to stay on for a few extra days after the Alley Shield finishes and have a look around Perth. And as I mentioned earlier, as it's a bit of a trek over there, as much as I love it over there, I don't get over there enough, unfortunately. I will take my coaching business over there eventually, and my TV show in the near future. Looking to do some filming over there. But
TV show.
Coburn, what a complex that is. Indoor facility, multi-million-dollar first-class facility over there in Perth. And, yeah, great to see. And hello, Paul. Thanks for tuning in, mate. And just to remember, guys, we haven't probably touched on it too much, but we're just hoping you do it anyway. Give this page a share. Just press on that share button, and all your friends get to know about your interest and your hobby and your favourite love for lawn bowls, because the more we share it, the more people experience what bowls is, and it just might be enough for them to get out and give it a go.
Exactly. Umpire has been called to determine the length here of this jack roll. Has it been declared too short? No, we are okay. Tape measure coming in. Of course, the Israelis probably wouldn't be too used to being live streamed, so they will. It might happen that they do occasionally stand on the centre line, but we do thank Root for hopping out of the way for us there. Sandra Bruce, she's been watching every day. She's watching on. Great to have your company. The Australian triples team, well, Linny and Kelsey, they've won almost everything there is to win together. The World Bowls Championships to finish Lindsay's career would be the feather in the cap. And when they come here tomorrow, or I'm not sure, I don't think it's here tomorrow. I think we're at Helensvale for the knockout stages. But should they get to the weekend, and should they be around on Sunday, well, it will be a monumental occasion, because Lindsay Clark, on her final day as a Jackaroo, it would be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, spot on, Val. It's an interesting position these athletes are in as they're playing day after day, event after event. After the World Champs, they'll go into another event somewhere, and they're playing so much bowls. It's really not something a lot of them do stop and reflect. But obviously at the end of this World Championship, Lindsay will do a lot of reflecting for weeks and months and years on what she has been able to achieve at international level. And she will reflect on Sunday night with a lot of other countries with her. And no better way to go out after World Champs, to be able to walk the room, plenty of hugs, and tell plenty of stories. And then from there, I'm sure Val will no doubt have her lined up on some media platform.
Yeah, she's doing well.
Which he'll tell us all about. And some interviews and probably, a fair bit of media to come around the finishing up too. I'm sure local Gold Coast media and other platforms will get involved, because it's been such a huge career for one of Queensland's and Australia's best athletes.
She has been, and her and Kelsey, they have won a lot of Australian Opens together. I think 7 overall. So the two of them, and a lot of them, have been at Broadbeach. So they know how to play these greens, and should it happen again, I reckon they're going to be pretty pleased with themselves.
Well,
to go out with
great
a goal.
effort. Just missing high there. Sorry, Val.
So we will try and get a message out to them about standing on that centre line, because obviously we do want to see what's happening. Jason Dow, yeah, I think I have probably used that word a bit too much. I will try and cut that down. It's the new phenomenal, I think. So as we make the changeover, Barry Lester just gives them a little talk about the centre line. Gives Dawn Heyman a bit of a high five, makes an appearance on screen, and now he's sitting right beside me.
Yeah, no, they're all over it, the girls, so they're going to help as much as they can. And as we said, Israel, 3 players probably potentially experiencing live TV or live streaming for the first time. So we'll assist you, viewers, as much as we can. Thanks again for tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. And maybe tell us who your favourite player is. Might not be on this actual live stream. Is there a player you particularly love to watch play? Is there a certain event you love to tune in to watch? Or what's your favourite thing you love about bowls? And once again, whatever they are, tell your friends. Get involved in the game.
Dawn Heyman doing a wonderful job just patrolling that centre line for us.
Okay, as we see here, Israel down on the head. It's not much of a target really, but if they do play some weight, catch that wing bowl, they might reduce the count. But jack is what they're really after. Any jack movement there will be favourable. They do win the tee.
Now, Barry Lester.
Far from here. Looking for the jack here. Not a mile away.
Not at all. Ruth Kalor.
What an effort. Only an inch narrow. Big effort.
Now, Barry, Israel have won 1 gold medal at the World Bowls Championships. Can you tell me in what discipline? And stop looking at my screen.
Oh. Well, I try not to look at that screen, mate, because it's got all the answers. But I actually didn't catch a glimpse then. Oh, Israel, wow, what discipline. Well, help me with gender.
Male.
Okay.
1992 in Worthing in England.
Yep, Worthing, England. I remember reading about that. I'm going to go... 96 was Adelaide. Who was the defending champion? 96. Men's singles.
The Irish contingent next to us, they've got it. No, it wasn't singles. It was Tony Alcock won the singles.
Yeah, who did Tony Alcock beat in the final? Was that Mark McMahon? No.
It was Richard Corsie.
Richard Corsie.
Israel actually got a bronze in that. Jeff Rabkin got a bronze in the men's singles.
Yeah, well, see, so that was I was getting to. So Jeff Rabkin, I reckon, got runner-up in 96 to Andy Thompson. No, sorry, not Andy Thompson.
Alcock?
Tony Alcock. So let's go. Well,
and you are correct.
Yep. So I remember Jeff Rabkin. That game there is still one of the greatest games I've ever seen. Tony Alcock drew to the lip, I think either on the last end or the second last end to save game or win the game. So what an amazing experience that was. But no, mate, you're going to have to help me. I'm done. I'm out.
So Australia, they scored a 3 on the second end, so they lead at 3-1. Baz has checked out of the trivia. They won at the men's triples in 1992. Cecil Bransky, Lawrence Mendelssohn, and Leon Bloom got the job done.
Good on them. Great to see. Just goes to show this. When you look through the results over the years, there's been a great array of countries that have performed very well and walked away with gold, silver, or bronze medals. As we see here, this bowl coming down on a beautiful angle, just falling short. So as Australia's brought this mat up, just playing with Israel's weight control a little.
So Australia, after dropping the opening end, those blue bowls are finding their way to the jack, and great to see a lot of our para contingent here in Australia. Jackie Hudson and her husband Rob watching on, Serena Bonnell lurking around as well.
Went over to the trade stand before, Val, just have a look around, and you couldn't move in there.
Yeah, I want to go duck my head in and have a look at some of the great apparel.
So much gear on offer. So plenty of games going on as we see another bowl in the ditch there. So what that's doing, as much as Australia hasn't actually nailed the jack yet, it's just trying to create a bit of, just break the rhythm up for Israel. As we see a couple of bowls in the ditch on the draw, a short one up the front there. So why that is happening, okay, it's not because Israel aren't good enough to play a short length end. It's just adjusting to playing from a long end to a short end. And Australia's just trying to make the most of their home ground advantage, knowing that they know the greens, they know the pace well, they play on this in these conditions a lot. And the more they can break up their opponent's rhythm, it won't let them settle into making this green their advantage. So this one here just running through as well.
So Australia will be quite thrilled with the way that this head is set up. currently holding a few.
And Val, if you ever want to test out your opponent and you feel as though you want to try and either get back in the game or you want to test them out and maybe try and find a way to break away, if your opponent's maybe slightly off their game and they're not playing great weight control, if you put the jack around the tee, this is a perfect example of if your weight control isn't spot on, bowls will be wasted onto the bank, as opposed to the jack being up the green. If your opponent's wasting bowls, they'll be behind the head, but still on the green and having some value. So if you're wanting to test your opponents out and their touch and their weight control, jack around the tee will sort that out.
And the joint haunches of Dawn Heyman and Lindsay Clark, they liked it straight away. Australia, well, they're currently holding a big number, and it's up to Ruth Galore to try and fix things here. Now, how quick is she?
Yeah, there it is again, Val. So Aussies have put a game plan in place here. It's working so far. So 3 wasted bowls up onto the bank for Israel. Trying to master their weight control, but knowing that if they're heavy, they're out of the game on the bank. Those bowls have no value anymore. Kelsey Cottrell, well, her job is to get another one in there, but once again, not set up any more bowls that the Israeli skip can sit on. That's great shooting, Kelsey Cottrell.
Geez, this is clinical so far. They're currently holding, well, I reckon that could be a full count, Baz.
Yeah, depending if the
back bowl of
the
Australia.
Bottom bowl, that's right.
So can Ruth Galore try and fix something up here? Similar bowl to her last, I think, and that is also not going to trouble the scorers here. And I reckon that...
Nice line in the end, getting back beautifully, but too quick.
It stayed on, and I reckon that is a full count. They're getting rid of a few of them. Maybe they might measure for the back bowl. As they analyse. Matt right up again from Dawn Heyman. So they are measuring for that. I reckon it's a 100%. Australia's back bowl. Australia's front bowls, looks like. So that's in. And that is a 5, so not quite the full count, but Australia will be very buoyant with that scoreline. They lead at 8-1 after 3 here on Green 2 of the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Janet Munn sitting ringside Broadbeach. Great to watch the atmosphere in perfect weather. Travelled from southeast South Australia, and it's worth the trip. Great to see you here, Janet. Can you maybe give us a wave wherever you're sitting? A couple of lost jacks already as well. Green lightning quick.
Yeah, I'm just taking a moment to try and explain this to the best of my ability, Val. Without being, I'm definitely not going to downplay Israel's ability or some of the countries that maybe haven't performed that well in this event. But if you're definitely in touch and you're very confident playing all the distances and all the weights in the game, and you feel as though your opposition is struggling to do the same and go with you, that last end is a perfect example, especially everyone listening out there at Clubland, that if you want to really test your opponent, what having the jack being around the tee creates another element to that challenge. They've got to not only try and get close, but if they're heavy, they've got to try and stay on the green. So it's a real good insight to what Australia is all about right now with that jack length. So they've played this distance very well, and it's something that I think throughout this match they probably won't do too much of. And as I said at the start of the match, I think it's something they're probably going to maybe play around with a few different experimental lengths this game. And as you see here, both bowls falling short, but that's all part of Australia's experiments in this game, I feel. So there'll be a bit of everything, and it's a great way to do that now, leading into what will be a big finals campaign.
It will be. Lindsay Clark looking for one last World Bowls Championships gold medal before she heads off into the sunset and hangs up the green and gold. Yeah, Catherine will try and get that sorted with Ruth Galore. She's just stepped back into the way, but we'll continue to monitor that. And of course, we must stress that they're not used to being live streamed, so it's something that they're not too used to having to focus on.
Yeah, and for me, even though if there's live stream or cameras or not, Val, it's a bit of a bugbear for me anyway. From a personal point of view, I just don't know why people in general would want to be right down the middle of the rink behind the head. And we see the modern way the game's played now versus 20, 30 years ago. No one stood on the green, only the thirds and the skips. And in multiple disciplines now, we see all players standing on the green, and they're allowed to. You've got to be just a certain distance behind the head. There is an etiquette there, but unfortunately, just with this certain circumstance, we'll try our best to try and manage it the best we can. And
exactly, man. Amalia Levy just nudging the jack.
Both skips having a bit of a chuckle there about the camera, and Kelsey, we thank you so much.
Yep.
Kelsey's got enough on her mind, let alone to manage the camera for us, but thank you, Kelsey. So, as we see here, Amalia.
Yep, Amalia Levy.
Beautiful name, Amalia Levy, looking to do something similar here. As she see the beautiful release, that the position of her hand at the release point is perfect, and trying to come down, sit the head or sit the jack here, just sliding through high. I did briefly mention it the other day, but if you're dumping your bowl or dropping your bowl, 9 times out of 10, it's because your thumb is in a vertical position and you're getting over the top of your bowl. But ideally, you want to have your hand and your thumb at about 45 degrees, which keeps that bowl moving forward, keeps it in a nice gripped position. And as you see here with Kelsey Cottrell, sets up with the thumb there, horizontal, moves into a vertical position, and a nice release point out the front of her foot. And it's just so great to see Amalia getting the bowl away so nice and having all the technique set up correctly as Kelsey Cottrell. Wow, almost. Great effort.
Has trundled into a good home. But Australia getting to the point where they could probably sit that bowl at 3 o'clock and make a big collect, or will they just try and pile more in here? What has Ruth Galore got?
Not bad here. Just running out of gas.
Yep.
Is he going to make it, though? It's trickling on. Wow, just going under.
Tried. Ended up where their other bowl did, and definitely ensures that it is 2. Opportunity for the Aussies to continue to pile on the shots here. Kelsey Cottrell. She going to try and squirt the jack through here, Barry?
Yeah, a couple of good attempts. Coming back nicely. Well, they're good bowls anyway, so Kelsey be happy with that. A couple of really good rhythm bowls out on the same line, similar weight, so plenty to learn from those two in good areas in case there is some jack movement. Okay, last bowl pending. Israel need some action on the shot bowl here, just missing under. So another multiple to Australia.
So 2, and they now lead at 10-1. They've raced out of the blocks after dropping the opening end here, the Australians. And now I reckon we're going to see the mat come right up, and Dawn Heyman has placed it a fair way up the rink.
Yeah, a couple of things to come of this, Val. Obviously, the shorter the mat is and the shorter the length is, the less time the end takes to play, if everyone just plays at a sort of a standard time, because the bowl's travelling over a shorter distance and less walking, all that. So you can definitely get through your games a bit quicker. But as we saw here, what the standout component here is Australia picked up a huge number in this direction 2 ends ago. Now, they didn't just put the mat down anywhere random and put the jack anywhere random. They knew...
They got a game plan.
That's right. It was effective 2 ends ago, and to do it again. The reverse of that, Val, is... Let's say you drop a 5, jack's in the middle of the green. The next end you win the end. What we'll see so many times, especially out at Clubland, is there isn't a game plan, and once you've won the mat back, you'll just roll the jack back to the random spot, which was where the place you dropped a 5 2 ends ago.
Yeah.
And cosmetically, the opposition's looking at that going, thank you so much. We won a 5 on this length 2 ends ago.
And we will take another one.
Why are you rolling the jack where we just got a 5?
Yep.
And whether it comes off or not, you've got to have that plan up your sleeve. So these teams, these players, they're well drilled, done a lot of training to be here, a lot of preparation, and they'll use every little ounce and percentage of smarts and planning they can get to try and give themselves that edge over their opposition.
So short ball there from Kani Amit, but trying to get this one through. That one goes a bit too far. So Australia have 2 right in the middle near the jack, thanks to Dawn Heyman. Lindsay Clark about to step onto the mat and send hers down as she does. Goes on the forehand, and this one, I dare say, will be in the zone as well. The weight control, superb. Now for Amalia Levy.
And nice follow through there. Forehand delivery it is. Looking for some connection. Jack down the line or sit on the bowl.
Possibly.
Just missing under. Good effort.
She's gone through. Has she cut it down? Probably not.
Nice weight though, Val. Just to give the bowl a chance. Be there enough to trail or sit. She'll be pretty happy with where that's finished. They've all of a sudden got 2 bowls behind and in pretty good areas.
Which they didn't before. I think Australia would like that jack to be a little bit further back, maybe. Lindsay coming around, wanting it to dart back in. Yeah, that'll probably do enough. So Australia's all four of their bowls currently in the count at the moment.
Forehand again. Slight correction required. Higher line. Definitely wider.
That's going to be too wide. It'll start to try and work its way back, but nothing doing there for Amalia Levy. And Australia, with Kelsey Cottrell to come down to the back of to the mat. She'll be wanting to put in another big collect to make this a really stress-free contest for Australia. Great to have everybody's company wherever you're watching from around the world.
Backhand it is. Kelsey Cottrell just trying to put a bowl in between the 2 red ones out the back there. And she's done that perfectly.
Yep. Good tactics from Kelsey.
It's the only place where they're down a multiple. And that's usually your most important objective when you are holding shot and looking to protect. Protecting where you are a multiple down. So what these short lengths are doing is a few things. It's really making Israel work heavily on their touch. And I mentioned it on the weekend, Val, when I was doing some interviews rinkside during the women's singles final.
Yep.
When you're playing on a quick green and you're playing on a short end, the tempo and the body motion is much slower.
Yep.
Which means when everything's slowed down, there's more load. And when there's more load, it's right through your body, your legs, your feet, and it's up to you to be able to control that load at a slower tempo through your thighs, through your whole body, and to be able to then play touch on the end of it. And as we're seeing here, the Israeli team are struggling a little bit with the load that they have to go through with the slow tempo and play touch on the back of it.
So that is another 3, I think, to Australia. I saw 3 fingers go up from Lindsay Clark. And it's a 13-1 buffer after 5. The Aussies have had it all their own way.
The best example I can probably give you, Val, to that would be probably riding a bike up a hill versus riding a bike on flat ground. The slower you're pushing into that pedal, the more load you're trying to get through to get up that hill. So that's obviously putting that body through that load, and then versus riding when you're just gliding. So when you're just playing at a medium length or long length end, your body just glides across the green and it just steps out and rolls it. Whereas when you have to play a short length on a quick green, you have to go down slower, go out slower, and the body's going through all that load. And then at the end of it, you have to then still have some touch. And it's something that if you want to be really good on quick greens and short ends, you must practice it.
So many nuances of this sport. And Australia are giving Israel a lesson at the moment. Kelsey Cottrell skipped. Team has been unbeaten so far. Israel sitting in 4th in this section. Can't get through. Dawn Heyman leading brilliantly, and she was so good last week in the match that we covered in the 4s against Hong Kong in the quarterfinals, before they moved on to take on Scotland in the semi. The score is 13-1, just having a couple of gremlins with our back end. Terry Morrison watching on, the father of emerging Jackaroo, Chloe. He loves his bowls, does Terry Morrison. Score should be updated for you now. Australia currently holding 3. Amalia Levy just crashing through.
Yeah, Australia holding 3 there. Lindsay Clark, fairly open hand on the forehand.
So the green this morning, this green was at about 14.2. I reckon it'd be up close to 15 now, Barry Lester.
Yeah, I've probably got it right on 15, Val. As we see the Aussies there, giving their bowls a chance, putting them in good areas. Amalia on the backhand here. She needs to turn that front bowl in. She's going to miss high. Needs to stay up also. Photo finish here. Well,
It got there,
on.
Stayed. So now the skips will make their way down. Australia holding it yet another big number. And they want to absolutely run this home and give themselves as much of a confidence boost as they can heading into the final stages of this tournament. 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. That's when we're going to be at Helensvale. Likely opponents for the Australians. We'll bring them to you throughout this match. Kelsey Cottrell not far away. This could be the boss of the lot, Barry Lester. That is the boss.
Yeah, nice shot from Kelsey. Head still open for Turkey, though, on the backhand. Siddle trail, just going to miss high there. Israeli skipper just not adjusting to these short ends.
Yeah, the Israeli contingent just, you're right, Baz, they haven't adjusted, and it's a bit nerve-wracking for them considering the position that they sit in. They've been competitive in most of their matches. Ireland got the better of them by a fair way, but other than that, they've been close as Kelsey Cottrell ends up getting the jack here. So this is another big number to Australia if Ruth Galore can't do anything. The opponent confirmed for the quarterfinal tomorrow. South Africa. Australia can't finish below first position in this group. And South Africa will finish in second. So Australia, South Africa in the quarterfinal at Helensvale tomorrow.
Big rivalry between Australia and South Africa over the years. Israel need the jack out of there now.
She's gone big here, has Ruth Galore, and she's just gone through. So Lindsay Clark will have a look. We'll get a survey. She's going to get the tape out. This is at least 3.
Dawn Heyman already putting the mat down. Giving herself probably about 4 feet of room below the minimum.
That is 4 to Australia. So they are yet to register a single in this match. The Aussies, they have powered away from this Israeli trio. So Australia, after dropping the first end with a 1, a 3, a 5, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So England will play the runner-up in this group, and that is still to be determined because Ireland and Hong Kong are very close.
Well, I haven't looked up flights at all, Val, but I've definitely just scoured the map.
Mapped out a little trip, have you, Barry?
Yeah, so if you're in Israel, well, you can catch a boat over to Cyprus. So when you look at all these countries that play the sport of bowls, while you're in Israel, catch a boat over to Cyprus, play a bit of bowls there.
Why not?
Beautiful bowling setup there in Cyprus, right along the beach in one of their big resorts.
Dawn Heyman, look at that, Baz, right on the jack.
Beautiful shot. So for those on holidays, European holidays, Cyprus, you can definitely have a game of bowls there.
You can.
Yeah, I've seen footage. Yeah, there's a resort just next to the ocean there with a couple of bowling greens in Cyprus, and that was the home of the Oceania Games and I think World Champions. So great to see brilliant facilities out there right around the world. As we see Dawn Heyman, 1 on 1 behind. Perfect leading, no targets.
Her line has been sensational. And again, Carney Amit can't match her. And Lindsay Clark now with an opportunity to hop in yet another one. She will be licking her lips at this opportunity. She's already got a silver medal from this campaign. So she leaves international bowls with a World Bowls Championships medal. But it's not the colour that she wants. Currently, Hong Kong, China leading Ireland 5-4 after 5. That score is about to change. That'll be 6-4 after 6. So the winner of that goes through to the quarterfinals. I think they need to win by 3 to make up the shots.
So many big games going on, whether teams or countries can qualify or not, that's completely irrelevant to these players. They're so proud to be out there representing their countries. They'll fight tooth and nail all the way to the end, give it their all. Any win at this stage is a good win. Some have the ability to advance into the finals, some don't, but that won't be stopping them. Not far away here. Wow, just missing high.
Malia Levy, however, does send Dawn Heyman's bowl away, so it's the opening bowl of the end that still remains right on the jack. Big contingent near the tee. Israel have it. Australia will look to try and continue increasing their scores by more than one, because that's exactly what they're doing. All they need to do is score, really, in one more end, and they'll average one an end for the entirety of the match. We're only at end 7.
Yeah, that front end pressure from Dawn Heyman's been really good.
Yep.
Just never far away so far. Just put them in there, getting the Aussies off to a good start, creating a bit of pressure for Israel.
Bob Salzler asking what's the score in the Canada men's fours match beside us. Hong Kong, China are on 3, but one of the Canadian bowlers just standing in front of this scorecard, so we can't quite see, but you can go to world2023.bowls.com.au. You can find out all the live scores from the World Bowls Championships at 2023, or in 2023.
Yeah, a few games going on next door. I can see some scores. You've got Argentina in the men's fours over Samoa, 5-2. Scotland, 3-2 up over France. A couple down on the head. So we'll try to keep you up to date with what we can see and can control here for you. But we're right in the middle of the day here. Sun's right above us. Perfect conditions. Been so impressed with the weather today. Been waiting for the gusty southeaster to come off the ocean, but we haven't seen it today. If anything, slightly in from the north, and that's a good indicator it's warm. That's what the weather's doing. It is very hot out there. Players wearing the protective sun sleeves from Sparms. Players wearing big brim hats is John Bazier from Canada. Well, yeah, so all players out there. And you see some players that don't wear hats. As we see, well, what an effort there.
Not bad at all.
As we see some players not wearing any hats at all. That's because a lot of the players, especially over in the UK, that play a lot of indoor bowls, well, there's no elements, and they get used to looking up the green and not having to worry about the peak of their cap getting in the way, Val.
Yeah.
So some players, you look at an Alex Marshall, at the point of release,
he doesn't play in his cap at all.
No, so at the point of release, he's got his eyes pointed up the green, and when his head's down, his eyes are up. He just likes the fact that the peak of the cap doesn't interfere with his line sight.
You have to get some sunscreen on the scone, though, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So Australia get their first single of the match. They lead at 18-1 after 7 as we near the halfway point of this contest. Looks to be a foregone conclusion already, but Australia, they'll want a nice little tune-up ahead of their quarterfinal clash with South Africa tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, Bob. Great to have your company. You still got one more day of us to go. I know some might be getting sick of you and I, Barry Lester, but we're having a great time.
Sure are, Val. Enjoying all this action going around. I scoped the greens and scoped the rinks. And
another magpie swoops down through the green.
Dawn Heyman just rhythm, forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand. That's been the rhythm show so far as Dawny just finds that yard of weight, hits the line, puts another one in there. Jack length, 25 metres, so short length. Matt right up the green.
And it's really brought Israel unstuck, hasn't it?
Well, as you say that.
However.
Commentator's curse.
Yes, it is. Carney Amit charges through and wrestles the shot. What can Lindsay Clark do about it? How can she reply?
Lindsay just needed to clear the front. Well, she's put another one in there. Well played, Lindsay Clark.
So now that front bowl, or that shot bowl of Israel, looking to be looking ominous now for Australia, because they're going to look at it and say, we can get rid of that. Can they get another one in there? Oh, Amalia Levy can. Nicely played into the head. Lindsay Clark doing what she's done for 2 decades and over 450 matches for Australia. Jogs in behind it. Has she got it? Oh, yeah.
Has.
Of course she has. Has been great to have Barry Lester alongside me this fortnight. Must have sore shoulders, I reckon. He's not even saying no.
Well, you left yourself open for another comment there, Val, but I wouldn't do that to you, mate.
I
Very
think
close.
she might, but I reckon it's gone a bit too far. Dawn Heyman grabs the mat. Good effort from Ruth Galore to make that correction. But Dawn strides up, takes a few paces and says, we're rinsing and repeating.
And this is the stage of the match, Val, where they might start experimenting with different lengths. Maybe try some ditch to ditch. Maybe start playing a few conversions they maybe normally wouldn't, just to get all those components and all those aspects of their game fine-tuned heading into the finals. You might see them have a little chat at some stage to say, how about we play some ditch to ditch and get a real full sense of the conditions as the finals are fast approaching.
Dawn again on the money, a little touch-up as she goes past, and it's been something special so far from the Aussies. Just great tactics, great plan. The tactical nous of understanding and knowing the greens and the conditions that you're playing on is just so important, as Kani Amit can't quite nail it. Argentinian contingent in the men's fours. They are loud and boisterous over on the far green. Great to see, as Dawn Heyman just needs to clear the front. Takes the jack. And another toucher for Dawn.
Yeah, on top of her game is Dawn. I think the Aussies are really enjoying the ability just to be able to go out, play a good, solid, standard match here and test Israel. Israel now start trying to set some mini goals. Can they get to 5? That's a beautiful shot. Crowd loving that.
From Kani Amit.
Maybe some experimenting here. There is some room to draw it, but does Kelsey get Lindsay running after that bowl?
See. Australia have raced away with this. They've been clinical. They've been precise. And you're right, Barry. Lindsay is running at it, and she's mightily close. Gets it away.
Yeah, getting the wrong side of the bowl.
And the jack has gone into the ditch. The Israeli bowl has actually followed in the direction of the jack. It's been skewed out to the left of screen and has remained inbound. So still one to Israel.
So Israel probably has about 6 feet to draw another one here to count. That's where that mini target starts to play on their mind, hopefully, trying to make, that 5 mark. You got 8 ends to go, 9 ends to go. Just try and work on a 5 and see what happens from here.
And Baz, Aaron Wilson, he's done a lot of good work this morning in not much time. He's won 21-1 over Spain in his second singles match of the day after only dropping 3 shots against Argentina this morning. And a great response there from Amalia Levy from Israel,
Very
who puts
impressed.
in a second. That is a brilliant bowl.
Yeah, I'm not sure much. I don't know much about Amalia, but Val, from what I'm seeing, I'm very impressed the way she's going about it. That technique's going to hold her in good stead.
So, Lindsay Clark looking to pop one in. It only goes into the ditch. So, let's see what Amalia can do. Can she pop in a third here? Maybe mount a charge for Israel.
Good line. Doesn't need to really go near it, the ditch here, or try and draw it, but this is too heavy.
And Kelsey catches it, pops it on the bank, and let's see what Kelsey Cottrell can reply with. Brilliant bowling from Amalia Levy. Kelsey, as you said before, Baz, hasn't gone to the mat down much in this match, but the last couple of ends, Israel have been a lot closer.
Yeah, and if they can hold on to 1 or 2 here, just helps get the mat back and try something new, see if something could work. Maybe try a different length just to reduce the deficit, which is right now starting to get right away from Israel.
Just got one of the Israeli bowlers, I think it's Amalia, yep, standing in front of the camera, so hopefully she does move.
2 shots. That's probably the best angle anyway, Locke. That's fine. That's a good angle for our viewers. As you can see, the 2 red bowls are the counters, first and second shot. This one needs to slow down. Well, not quite. So Kelsey Cottrell. She could really try and go for this if she wants. Both bowls. Got plenty of seconds. There is a toucher there, though. The bowl nearest to the ditch, the bowl at the bottom of the screen, is a toucher. Apologies, the one at the top.
Yep.
Sorry, the one at the top. So Kelsey might look to get that through the bowl near the edge, near the ditch, and get both of them. Missing high. Gee, that had some weight on it.
It did. That was motoring through. Kelsey got that out quick. Ryan Bester would be happy with a pace like that. Now, what can Ruth Galore conjure up? Barring an absolute catastrophe, Israel will win this end. And it
Stays
almost was. It has stayed on. Is it 3?
I think it is.
Lindsay Clark just held up
3 shots.
3. Yep, that is 3 to Israel. So they are back on the board. It is a 19-4 lead to the Aussies, who dropped their first end since the opener. And Israel will change the length up a little bit. That mat has not gone far away from the bank at all.
No, they'll definitely stretch it out if they can, Val. Don't want to lose the jack in the ditch here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Australia, even if they do get the jack here, go long as well. It's just part of their... so it is a lost jack.
So we have lost one. So now Dawn Heyman, she picked it up straight away and has walked up about 10 paces. And Australia is going straight for this shorter length again. That hurts if you're Israel.
Yeah, they're just trying to get some continuity going, some back-to-back wins, some back-to-back ends. They're trying to roll a different jack length to break the Aussies up to try and achieve that, and then unfortunately Jack goes trickling into the ditch, and that really does hurt you, like you say, Val. So Val, Australia now having last bowl, just haven't had to do much this game. Halfway mark, 9 ends down, we're on the 10th. And we're going to see, no measure. So very, very borderline this length. It'll be all of 24 metres.
Yep, very close. So we are at the halfway point of this one. Just under an hour played, so been going at pretty quick pace. What can Kani Amit conjure up with her opener? Not a bad one at all. It's a bit of a Kevin Sheedy from Root Galore with the bowls cloth. Don't think any of your three Australians are West Coast supporters, but interesting there. Very happy with her leads work there was Root Galore. Kani Amit going close and beating Dawn Heyman to the first bowl for the first time. I reckon in the entire match, Dawn is...
Well, she's drawing another one here, Val. The switch of hands onto the backhands worked.
And Kani Amit's, well, brilliantly done.
Yeah, great rhythm there. Dawny just needs to drop a yard of weight. Bring this in a touch. It's coming back. It's coming back. Well, probably second if it falls over. Yeah, that'll be second.
Not a bad effort at all.
Nice reply.
So, what now for Israel? They just need to continue to pepper this and get as many bowls in as they can. The early portion of the match was where this lead has come from. Ends 2-6, saw Australia pick up 17 shots in what was a blistering spell.
Yeah, Lindsay trying to match the lead here. Same hand. Looking for some jack movement down the line or sit the shot bowl, just missing under with perfect weight. So Australia accumulating a couple together in the same area as Israel hole one. And as we see the indication from the Israeli skip, just to try and get something between the two blue bowls there of Australia. Cover any danger. As we know, Lindsay won't be far away with the next one. Not a bad attempt, just missing under. Might nearly count. Just drifting away.
So Lindsay Clark will try and rectify the situation for the Aussies. Have won 7 ends. 5 of those were multiples, 3-5, 2-3-4 on ends 2-6. 2 singles. Lindsay misses under again with almost similar weight to before, crashing into her previous bowl. So, Kelsey Cottrell, for the 3rd end in a row, goes down to the mat, down. Very interesting to see how the patterns are evolving. Big thank you to Kani Amit for just giving Amalia a little tap, just saying get off the centre line. Hugely appreciated.
So Israel holding one. Kelsey Cottrell. She'll be trying to get the shot back with her first. Sit the bowl solid or get half jack. Kick it out to the wing there, as you see on the left-hand side around 8 and 9 o'clock. Australia have 3 bowls waiting. So it'll be yard, 4 feet of weight here. She's staring it down. I think it's got to hurry now. Is it here?
It's trying to get down.
Not quite here. So still 1 to Israel.
And it falls out too. So Israel on the verge of possibly winning multiple ends in a row.
Oh, okay. Bowl just fell down and hit the jack.
But it didn't hit it far enough, I don't think.
No.
That's unbelievable. How unlucky.
Yeah, it's actually better for Israel. That bowl's less vulnerable now laying down. That's a good shot too, so plenty around it here. So it's just the bowl now for Kelsey. Jack's still on, but I think the bowl's more the target now. As we see, yep, Lindsay.
They've got 2nd and 4th, apparently, Australia. That's indicated by Lindsay. So Kelsey Cottrell.
Probably add 3 feet of weight here. Half jack. Similar line. Does turn late there, but I think she's going to miss high from there. Needs to get down in a hurry. 1 Israel. Back-to-back ends.
For the first time in this match, Israel win multiple ends in a row. And Australia lead at 19-5 after 10. Israel will want to keep the mat this time and not have to worry about these shorter ends, which maybe they are starting to adapt to. They finally sort of found their rhythm at that length, and will Australia change things up? Israel have started to make the heads a lot closer. And, well, another lost mat for Israel. That hurts. So Dawn Heyman, let's see what she does here. No, she's going straight up the rink. And said, you're going to have to continue to beat us on this length because we are owning it at the moment. That's the 3rd jack that we've lost this match. And 4 and 10 and 11. And Israel twice now have not been able to maintain the mat. Jack almost on the tee. So Baz, how important is it? We spoke about jack rolling yesterday. When you're down in a match like this, to lose the mat yet again. That's 2 ends in a row they've won. Twice in a row they've lost the jack. 1 in the ditch, 1 out of bounds.
So there's a few really important parts of rolling the jack. I'll start with the real basics, and that is the action, the routine, the setup, everything you do when you bowl should be exactly the same when you roll the jack. But we see some players, they'll just quickly pick the jack up and roll it, and they'll probably rush it. They won't spend the same amount of time as they do when setting up to deliver a bowl, and the result is sometimes not exactly where they want it. And if you do rush it, a lot of the times you're quick and you see it goes into the ditch. A little mechanism I use, I throw the jack up 3 times and catch it. So that's my reset. So instead of just picking the jack up and rolling it, I chuck it up 3 times, catch it, and then that's me saying, you've taken enough time to deliver the jack now. So there's one really important thing. But then remembering also, you've got to be looking up the green and making sure you're really across where your skipper wants it.
Yeah.
So if you're playing in a team event, that's a beautiful shot.
Carney Amit, well, this is a great exhibition of leading now.
Yeah, her last 4 bowls on the backhand. Been brilliant. So
Dawn was all over her before, and Carney 3 ends in a row she's strung together.
Yep, Dawny needing now probably 4 feet of weight on the same track. She's looking pretty good here, Val. She's stalking it. Is it going to get down in time for the jack?
It might just.
Of course it is. What a shot. Just down.
Just snuck past it. Good effort from Dawn Heyman.
Yeah, see, what you don't want to do in a team event is just chuck the mat down and throw the jack up the green and then look up and see that you haven't rolled it anywhere near where your skipper's standing. It's a really easy way to get your skipper upset. And, hopefully and remembering your skipper's probably strategically standing somewhere where they feel it's best for your team to play well, and probably an area where it's not really good for the opposition. So you need to really concentrate on that, and then the last thing to do, and do as much of as you can, is practice it.
Wise words from Barry Lester. We spoke about the importance of the jack roll. Lindsay Clark finds exactly what she needs, and Kelsey just inspecting. That did not touch the jack. It must be a millimetre away. So, Amalia Levy. Tell you what, she's not a world away here, Amalia. Very close. Spills the jack out. Still one down, but a lot easier for Israel to negate now.
Yeah, tough shot. Not much to aim at down there, Val, on the backhand for Amalia, but pretty effective, really.
So forces a change of hands from Lindsay Clark, who, I might add, is not far away here, Lindsay Clark. Just sneaking through, and that'll be a second for the Aussies. So, Australians powering away here, 19-5. Israel have won the last two ends, and they're forcing Australia to change hands. It's a little bit different to how it was earlier on in this contest when Australia went on that huge run of 17 shots in 5 ends, averaging a collective 3 each in those 5. That one from Ruth Galore going into the ditch.
Yeah, opportunity for Kelsey just to trail the jack here. She's not far away here, Kelsey
Not
Cottrell.
far at all. Kelsey.
That's the shot.
That is. We do apologise for having to go to the 45, but Kelsey, brilliantly done.
Israel just talking about weight control here for me, and yeah, Skip's going down for a look, so there's a few options here, both bowls or maybe even 3 bowls, or jack in the ditch for 1.
So Israel haven't conceded a multiple for 5 ends here. We're on end 11. The last Aussie multiple was a 4 in end 6. So they've negated things a bit, and they've stemmed the flow. They've won 2 ends in a row for themselves, but unbelievable performance from Australia. They've just continued to pepper their heads and ask the question of their counterparts, and they've been absolutely brilliant. As we near 1 o'clock, it comes in here from Ruth Galore. She's pretty close. I wonder if she's drawn it.
We'll get a better look.
Yep.
One to Australia.
She's close. 1 to Australia.
Huge effort.
Great effort from Ruth Galore. So we do apologise for Amalia, just standing in the way there. We'll get a look at the 45 as Kelsey lines up on the mat to try and add in a second, or she might try and just set this bowl away. Backhand it is for Kelsey Cottrell. We've got a really good angle of this coming around. It is trying, and it hits the gap. And you can hear the collective groan as it rolls through. Good effort from Kelsey Cottrell. We'll get the measure. Lindsay reckons it's 1 to Australia. Will this stem the flow, or has Root Galore done enough? One to Australia, confirmed. 2 it is. There we go. Australia back on the board with a multiple. The lead out to 16, 21-5, and we've got 7 ends to play. So we're going to get a trio of Lost Jacks here.
Well, nice breeze just picking up, Val, but still not windy. Just a light breeze just coming in from the north there. Lovely. As the conditions are pretty much perfect here.
Now, Baz, Australia continuing this length. Is there a possible reason for this? You know, why not try a different one now? They've continued to own this length. Do they want to get their eye in with something else, or they just continue what's working for them and try and get themselves as many shots as possible here and just go in for the jugular?
Yeah, if Australia's going to play a lot of this in the finals, obviously it's a no-brainer. You know, if your game plan is to play a lot of mat up, jack and the tee, definitely play as much as you can now. You don't want to see Israel settle into any kind of rhythm with that length too. So maybe it is a case that for Australia, if they're going to be playing ditch-to-ditch or any other lengths come finals, why not give it a go now? But if they're really gun-ho on getting as many shots as they can, I still think the mat up and jack around the tee is going to contribute to testing Israel's chances of scoring and probably allowing Australia to score more.
Almost another lost jack. That was by a whisker. So the Aussies forging away, 21-5. Certainly wasn't expecting this at the start of the contest, considering where Israel are placed in the section table in 4th position, and Dawn straight back on it.
So Dawn Heyman just applying the front end pressure. Israel definitely lifted their standards. Some of these last few ends have been really high quality heads.
They have, and look at this one come around from Carney Amit, not far away at all.
Yeah, Carney's last 4 ends have been really good, really rock solid, Val.
7 ends to play, including this one, and then we get some lunch, Baz. This one at 1 hour and 15 minutes old. The match started at 11:30. Well and truly over the halfway point.
Yeah, very warm too, Val. 26 degrees.
Yeah, I'm usually a 2 coffee a day type person, and I reckon it might actually be too hot for it. Then again, I may get over there and want one myself, as that one goes around the back from Carney. So time for Amalia Levy to try and negate Lindsay Clark, whose last end was pretty spot on.
Lindsay Clark, forehand it is. Oh, if she can clear the jack and get in behind, well, that's a nice starter for her. See a lot of crowds cheering on their respective countries and team members. Of course, we've got some players playing for countries, but also playing for local clubs out here in Australia. That can be pretty hard to cheer against your own country, but when you've got club mates playing for their respective countries, you see a bit of that going on here over the next 2 weeks. So Lindsay again on the forehand. If she drops 1 metre of weight, she'll be very, very close. Her line was quite good. It's going to pull up in time. Well, not quite. as we see Kelsey and Lindsay stand next to each other, 9 stars. Over 900 games of experience. Well, over 1,000 actually, I think. I think if you add...
Well, it's very close.
Is it? Yeah, I was going to say it'd be
very
borderline.
close.
Kelsey be into high fives and Lindsay's just clicked
Well,
over.
Kelsey only got to the 5s in March, so I don't think there's been an international event since the multi-nations.
So she'd be probably, around about the 520 mark? So they'd be
like
just
that.
shy of 1,000 games between them.
Yep. With Dawn out there's 1,000 games of experience.
Yeah, that's massive. That is absolutely massive. And they're using all the experience they can to put together a performance here and then keep charging forward to get it done in the finals. And things like mat up, jack around the tee, choosing the right weight to play when needed. That's what's going to help put them in good stead to try and come away with this World Championship triples. And, of course, Lindsay and Kelsey and Dawn picking up silver last weekend, looking to go one further in the triples discipline.
What a way it would be for Lindsay Clark to walk off into the sunset of her international career as Ruth Galore crashes in.
Kelsey on the forehand, about a foot of room to count. Not much room here. Just needs to bring it in a touch from her previous delivery. Not bad here. They're egging it on.
Dawn likes it. Lindsay likes it. That has done enough. I reckon they're pretty happy with it, the Aussies. And Amalia Levy confirming the damage.
It just creates a bit of an angle for Israel to work off now. As much as that's a counter, it's definitely a bit of a shelf for the Israeli skip. She needs to get back in a hurry, though. I think she's high.
So the Aussies continue on their merry way. A couple of 2s in a row now after Israel stormed back with a couple of ends of their own. But the Aussies now lead it by 18. 6 to play. They've just dropped 3 ends in this match. And, well, a change. Dawn Heyman didn't pace up the green. Must have accrued her 10,000 steps for the day and says we're going to put the mat back. And now we're going to go almost tee to tee. Jack still trickling towards the back and almost full length, Barry Lester.
Yeah, you love to see it. Just testing Israel out. They've let him slightly back into the game with playing the same length over a few occasions. Now they're going to try and break their rhythm up again, play a longer length end. Dawny just trying to set him up with the first. So falling short into that now. Well, that is a bit of a breeze now. That northwester coming in over the northwest building there. That big brand new high rise. So the breeze coming in now, but still really, really good conditions.
Yeah, perfect out there. And John just asking why an official doesn't stand at the cameras and tell players to move. Some players, as we've explained, aren't too used to being live streamed, and this is a World Championships, and I'm not sure the operations over there in Israel and how they bowl or what sports they play and how things work, but we can forgive them for standing in front a few times and being focused on the game. So while we want to bring you the best pictures that we can, we're not always going to be able to, but we will do our best.
Dawn Heyman just pulling up short on both occasions there. So
needing to correct because it's a little bit different to the length. But
yeah, it's a new length and both players are struggling to find it. So as we see, one back and one short here. So both players not quite finding it yet. What can Lindsay come up with?
Knowing Lindsay should be pretty close. Decent line from Lindsay Clark. Doesn't have the weight. That darted back quick too. So again, the Aussies with nothing past the jack and a little trail here for Israel could prove fruitful. Really take those bowls out of the equation. Even though the Aussies are holding 3, Back of the rink, controlled well and truly by Israel. Amalia Levy on a wider line. It's doing its utmost to get down. And the little shake of the bowls cloth by Ruth Galore says, well done, you've got shot. Lindsay Clark, however, makes the correction. Beautifully done. Correction on weight and line. Massive. Shot back to Australia. It's up to Amalia Levy to continue to lift as she has done throughout this match. 5 wayward ends from Israel, proving the difference at the moment. The Aussies have just been a class above. Ends 2-6 saw the Aussies accrue 17 shots after losing the first. And all of a sudden, before they knew it, the Israelis were down 17-1 as we make the changeover and the skips make their way down. Bit of cloud cover out there. There's a bit of sunshine, but it's kind of a misty sunshine out there today. Clouds very translucent. What has Kelsey Cottrell done? Well, that is something very nice indeed. Ruth Galore with a lot of work to do. The game a couple of rinks over between Ireland and Hong Kong. Hong Kong currently holding a spot in the quarterfinals. They need to win by 3 over Ireland. They're up by 4. Ruud just missing underneath there, going for a weighted shot to try and get the jack towards the back of the rink, and I dare say she might go back there.
So Australia holding 2.
I reckon.
Val, yeah, get one near the tee here.
And Kelsey, has she stayed up on the back? Yep. So the back of the rink is Australia's, but the tee is Israel's. And Ruth Galore, I reckon, we've seen it. There's some weight. She's crashed into a few. She doesn't want to give Australia anything else. She doesn't. It'll be 2 to the Aussies, who, again, like they have done in the past 2 ends, they score another 2. The margin, 25 to 5. Well, the margin is at 20. It's 25 to 5.
There's one thing we haven't spoken about at all, Val, and I'm just sort of observing, making sure I'm right before I come out with the goods.
You're always right, Bass. Come on.
Before I come out with the goods, and that is, this would have to be the first World Championships any time recently that there is no stickers on the bowls.
Oh, yeah, true.
So as much as the countries are using red and blue bowls, there's no traditional stickers, country named stickers on the bowls.
Yeah, that is true. And when, I guess, you're using the red or blue bowls, it doesn't really matter because you know which nations is which.
Yeah, the only thing you could run with is if you actually got the stickers colour-coded as well.
Yes, so a blue sticker and a red sticker.
That's right, and with Australia written on them, you could go blue with white writing or something like that, the same as the paint. So as you see a lot of the bowls, the paint is white on the bowls. So you see a blue set with white paint, a red set with white paint. Predominantly the paint is white, so you could do, on a blue bowl, you could do a blue sticker with white writing Australia.
Yep.
And just another element, but also can be another cost as well, unless you're getting a sponsor to put something on the stickers. But I know some players do prefer to play with stickers. Actually, I know quite a few.
Really? Is there a certain reason for that, or
because you 9 times out of 10 at all levels you're playing with stickers on your bowls.
Yeah.
Just very rarely do you play without stickers on
so
your
you
bowls.
just grow accustomed to it?
Correct.
When you feel the bowl, you feel the sticker there.
Yeah,
It
it's
can
sort of
throw you off, maybe.
nearly sort of like not playing with a glove in golf or something. You just get so used to something, and
Yeah. Your
but-
bowl looks naked.
but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect performance. It's just that feel of the bowl and the way it looks in the hand. But yeah, I guess that's probably something that can be optional moving forward. That the players, if they do want stickers, they can put a colour-coded sticker on their bowl with their country name on there. But I just realised, having a good look across the greens there's no stickers on the bowls.
I didn't even think of it.
There you go.
So Barry Lester always finding that extra bit of insight. And speaking of extra, Lindsay Clark has found some extra weight. And Australia holding 3. But a lot of room for Amalia Levy to get herself back into the head here, to get Israel into the head. Almost 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That one most likely won't come into the factor, but it is sitting there at the back of the rink. Australia might want to cover it. Ireland have gotten within 2 of Hong Kong next door, or a couple of rinks over. So even though they might lose, if they lose it by 2, that's enough to get them through.
Another good shot from Lindsay, just pulling up short, but that's a counter.
And
So
it's in the way a little bit.
Yes.
Falls over.
Yeah, so interesting here. I would have thought Israel would play backhand, looking to trail the jack. Sticking to the forehand here. Trying to get one round it. And that's too quick. Missing high, so that's going to be off the green, that bowl.
So 2 of the 4 bowls from Israel so far sitting and watching from the upper levels on the bank.
And that's the thing about the forehand there, Val. Missing high is nothing, whereas missing high, on the other hand, at least you're sitting bowls.
Yeah.
So if you push it out on the backhand in this direction, you'll sit some wing bowls. And they're the percentages of playing weight. And ideally, you know, if Israel were to play backhand in this direction, and they were going for the jack, if they're bowl tight, they can sit the front. If they're a bowl high, they can sit the wing. So that's just the percentages that present themselves. And you're going to be making decisions, the smart decisions all the time. And bowls is no doubt one with the good decision making. Yes, you've got to play the bowls, but creating options and making the right decisions is a huge part of this match.
Little issue there. Little accidental kick of the bowl. So Lindsay apparently called Kani Amit out of the way of the camera, and she jumped over and kicked her own bowl at the back.
Needs something solid to hang around. Well, that's going to help. Probably one down now.
Yeah, it's definitely cut it back. So will Kelsey just attack this bowl, Barry?
So the call is forehand toucher. So if Kelsey can just touch that jack back 18 inches, 2 feet, she can make a really good 4. They're cheering it on here. Kelsey Cottrell, she's pretty close. Just missing high.
Lindsay Clark saying, good effort, mate. But a chance now for Ruth Galore.
Pretty much all the major brands covered too, Val, in this particular game. You've got Taylor, Drake's, Henselite, and Aero Bowls out on this green. So a few different brands featuring in this particular game.
So Ruth Galore missing, and Australia will score yet again. Lindsay with 2 fingers up. 1 out. And they will measure for the second. So could it be a 4th 2 in a row for the Australians? 4 ends to play after this. And yep, that is yet another 2 for the Australians. So 4 in a row. And it's 27-5. The Aussies have been ruthless. Matt back yet again, trying the longer lengths now. So there's been no real in-between for the Aussies. Having said that, this one drifting a bit shorter. This is probably the in-between right now.
Yeah, no mucking around there from Dawn Heyman. As that jack was just being spotted by Kelsey. She was already on the mat delivering. So players are already looking forward to getting some rest. And that's a huge part of the players at the moment. They're looking to really control how they prepare and how they recover, set themselves up for finals. Nutrition being one of them, and obviously hydration, because they're such long days out on their feet, hot conditions. You want to have the same energy levels you do in N1 in the morning as you do in the last end of the day. Because especially at club level and pennant level games and so on, if you're fading into the late afternoon, when your club and your team really needs you, you need to find a way to stay up and about.
Not a bad delivery there from Dawn Heyman.
Yeah, it's nice. Great correction. Just to get in around behind. Doesn't have to nail the jack, Dawny. Just keep stroking them well, getting rhythm. And that's what she's looking at. Just, you know, if you happen to nail the jack, you'll take it. But just keep getting them away good, finding a good rhythm. And as we see, Israel.
Well, it's coming.
On its way down, just crashing onto Dawn's front one. Opening the head up, though, there.
It is. Roger Barnes, are the Aussie girls triples in the finals? Yeah, they are. They will be featuring in the quarterfinals tomorrow. It'll be South Africa that they face at Club Helensvale, Kelsey Cottrell's home club. As Lindsay Clark has found her way through the gap. Probably gone too far, but not too sure. We'll get a verdict.
Yeah, close for two there. As we see, Amalia, beautiful release out on the backhand. She's done pretty well here. She played it very well. It's a chance here, Val. It just needs to hang around. It's getting away. It's getting away.
I reckon she might have drawn it. It's close either way. But Amalia Levy, well, she's been the pick of the bowlers from Israel today. And you mentioned it earlier, that flawless technique. Great release.
Lindsay Clark, backhand, looking for that last bowl of Israel. Sit and stay for 2 or 3. She's got it. Perfect shot, Lindsay Clark.
Well, it might have been one down, but there are a couple up now, I reckon. That is a great response from Lindsay Clark. All three of them have found something special in this match, and they've been brilliant. Dawn from the front has provided that front-end pressure. Now, Amalia Levy.
Short this time, Val.
Yep. Now, next, or a couple of rinks over, the match to decide who goes through to join the Aussies in the quarterfinals from this section. Now, Hong Kong, China were a fair way in front, but now 11-all against Ireland. Hong Kong need to win by 3 to get through. Ireland have to keep it around this margin. If they lose by 2, it's okay.
Yeah, Argentina having a good win over Samoa in the men's fours. Scotland were actually 4-3 down, now 19-4 up in the men's fours as well against France. And England, nice lead there against Thailand, 17-5. Kelsey Cottrell just covering any chance of that jack getting back to the tee, getting another one in there. So it's a bit of protection early, and we see Hong Kong, China 12-9 over Canada in the men's fours.
Wow. That's an interesting group, that one. So, Ruth Galore again trying to urge this one down. Sits one of their own bowls away, so ends up in a very similar spot. Now it's time for Kelsey Cottrell. Lindsay Clark just telling her to pop it in a good home. I think that's what she said. I heard the word home. It's getting.
He needs to hold. Well, going to get the hole, I think. Well, no, just edging. Nearly
going
getting
through.
the back one of Israel.
Not a bad home, though. So now, currently 2 to the Aussies, I reckon. Let's see what Root Galore does.
Backhand with some form of arriving weight. Trying to get the jack out of there for the better. Not far away. Don't know if she's going to get down in time. Well, if she does, she doesn't want the jack. Bowl solid.
Can she get it?
What a shot. Arms in the air.
Oh, the Aussie bowl did flop
It
back.
is.
Did Root Galore get it? They're going to
Crowd's
measure.
going wild here, Val.
It was coming. The measure actually won't fit in between the bowls, so I reckon they're going to get an umpire. And a big applause there from Amalia Levy for a skip.
Usually they'd use the calipers on the measure. But
And they will be, I reckon.
yeah, so most measures have a set of calipers on there. Lindsay's tape mustn't have that on them. But, oh well, call an umpire and we'll soon find out.
Almost at the conclusion of this one. 3 ends to play after this. Just 36 more bowls. And we get some lunch, Baz.
Yeah, mate. And one more to go after that. And we're starting to shadow towards the finals. Not far away, just getting closer and closer. So it is 1 to Australia.
Yep. So the applause was there. It was a great effort from Root Galore, but the Australians, well, they'll take the shot, and Dawn Heyman obliges, picks up the jack. And Australia, well, they have ensured victory here. They can't lose it. So, of course, we do play up to the 18 ends because shots up do matter. They lead it by 23, 3 ends to play. A maximum score for the Israelis will be 18. So that's too short, and Israel will get to control the length. For the first time properly since N4 when Australia lost a jack. Quite unbelievable that it's been 12 ends since Israel have controlled the length.
And where will they go? I think, yes, it is. So it's going to be somewhere around the 33 metre mark. Yep. So quite long. Jack rolling on lovely there. Green speed definitely freed up a touch. No surface moisture in this deck anymore. So quite a long length end, this one. Dawn Heyman out on the forehand. Bowl coming in from the west side. As we see there, looking at the screen. Bowl's out, coming back from the west with the wind behind it. And halving the jack. So you can see that bowl severely coming across. That's just from when that bowl goes out to the west, out to the west side and starts working its way back, it's got the full brunt of the breeze behind it. So as you see there, it really did run away at the end. As we see the angle of this bowl, even though it's out in the high line, won't be as severe as it comes in. It's much straighter. So Dawn Heyman, should we just looking to add a little bit more grass here, let the bowl come back with the breeze behind it. So definitely on a higher line. Just needs to now finish off. Down the hill it comes. This looks really good, Dawn Heyman. Yeah, beautiful shot. Great double from Dawn. Going to fall over. If it falls, it's even better. Well, as it sits at the moment. Israel, 2 down on the head. There's a jack-eye bowl to sort of work up to under the clubhouse here. This one's going to fall short, though. So Australia currently leading 28-5. Israel winning a couple of ends in a row there. It's great to see. Spirited performance from them. They did win ends 9 and 10 in a row. But since then, it's all been the Australians with 4 pickups of 2 shots and a single on the last. So Australia, other than 4 ends of this match, every end they've scored has been a multiple. Hence why they've scored 28 shots in just the 15 ends, as we are on the 16th end here. And thanks again for tuning in from all around the world. We really do love hearing where you're from. Love getting to try and connect with all the bowls lovers around the world and get to know you from a electronic point of view. But we do appreciate the feedback and the comments. As this bowl clears, well, this is a chance. Oh, that's a nice reply there from Amalia. So just missing out on the shot, but giving her some hope with her next. And, of course, her skipper. It's a great shot, especially avoiding that front one on the line, just off the line. We see some really close battles happening next door. Hong Kong and Ireland, well, there hasn't been much separating them all match. It currently sits at 11 all as Lindsay slides in off the front and then edges onto the jack and gives the shot away. So Lindsay Clark having a bit of a laugh with Kelsey about that. It's great to see everyone out there relaxed, having a good time, and it's something I've noticed a lot, especially the last 3 or 4 days, as all the players get to know each other a bit better. There's people out there making new friends. Fijians making friends with the French, and Argentinians making friends with the Irish. That's just the beauty of World Bowls, saying g'day, how did you go today, nice to meet you, and that's the beauty of the World Championships. And I know growing up, I've spoken to players that have played international bowls. They've made long-lasting friends from players from other countries, and they still keep in contact today. And that is a great part of this sport of bowls. Not only local level, we're well connected, but now, as you see, these athletes making new friends forever, and that's just becomes part of the program.
The old Facebook ad, the Instagram follow. Get to see Barry Lester in the flesh. So, Kelsey Cottrell, they're down 1. Sting well and truly out of this one. The Aussies up by 23. The result is a foregone conclusion. But, well, she went big, cleared out their own. Wasn't far away from the target.
Yeah, a bit of a practice opportunity here for Kelsey. Why not? If she plucks her nearest out, she might get the jack off it, but nice big solid weight. Well, it's not big weight, but I think it's some form of weight. Just looking to maybe arrive and sit the shot bowl. She's going to be under. Well, is there a walk? Is there a walk?
Oh, there almost is.
Wow.
It's gone close, but it's flopped out, so Israel will be back on the board for just the 4th time in this match. Yeah, and you're right. Lindsay does always have a smiling face. Doesn't matter what the result is. So, as we head towards the penultimate end, Israel will most likely win this one. Can Ruth Galore add in a second one? It's coming.
Nice weight. Just needs a kind bounce now. No, bouncing the wrong way.
Good effort, but 1 to Israel, 28-6. The Australians lead it by 22. Now, the last 2 times Israel have rolled the jack, they have missed and they've lost the jack. So will they keep it? I mean, when they've kept it first, sorry. Or when they've had it first. Last 2 times they've won the end, they've lost the jack. Can they keep a hold of it here? I reckon this will do. Smack bang on the center line, and it will pull up. So get to control the end and the length. Carney Amit. .24 bowls to go in this contest.
Yeah, they've ticked a little box here, has Israel. They got to 5, which was an early target. I felt with the way the game was trending, it was important for Israel just to string some ends together and keep fighting. They did that. They've got to 6. So can they maybe sneak in a little 8 here or 9? Just some little wins. As it sits at the moment, it's over 20 shots. So as you're trying your best throughout these matches, sometimes the best you can do is just try and keep the deficit down. And if Israel can keep this under 20, nice little win for them, I believe. As much as Australia's played great and have been the better team, got to take the little wins where you can get them. And this is working out to be a little win here for the lead here. And there's 2, so Dawny, just a little reset. Slow this one down a touch. Nice correction coming in here from Dawn Heyman. Yeah, that's a lovely shot.
It certainly is. So Dawn has enjoyed that lead battle today against Carney Amit. Carney has come back at her a lot, though. Early on, it was all Dawn, and Dawn was a lot closer, but Carney has fought hard. They have persisted, the Israeli trio. They've fought hard. They've continued to show up for every end and just try and put the bowls in the best area that they can. That one's coming underneath, so... and short. Lindsay Clark with an opportunity to add in a second. They'd love to get to 30 here, the Australians. I think a lot of people would love to do it like Dawn, Anne Norton. She's one of the best in the country, one of the best in the world. And on these greens, she's dynamite. Time for Amalia Levy to
close here, Val.
Pop in. She's not far away at all. It's coming.
She's got it.
Nicely done. And the old Kevin Sheedy celebration from her skip, Ruth Galore.
I think Lindsay be having a crack at this. They've got the tee. But this is not far away for Israel to try and get that little win I spoke about. They need 4 shots to get to 10. They're currently holding 2. What's Lindsay got up her sleeve? Up her spalm sleeve. Forehand with weight, looking to kill the end. Needs to hold.
It's going to drop. So the skips will make their way.
Yeah, great to see the athletes wearing the protective wear there, Val. You see so many people these days in so many sports protecting their skin. Very important out there that you're looking after your skin. You've
got your own skincare routine, I'm sure, Baz?
Well, having been outside playing for so many years, most definitely. You know, when you play in certain parts of Australia and overseas, the sun can really take its toll on you. And I know over there in New Zealand, there's a bit of a hole in the ozone there. You can come in off 13, 14 degree day and it can absolutely scorch you. So, yeah, the key for me is definitely, you got to obviously look after your skin when you're out there competing, put the sunscreen on, but then you've got to repair when you're not in the sun. So you've got to repair your skin, moisturise and clean your skin well And you only get one layer, as they say. Well, my goodness.
She shaved everything there.
So
Did
it's,
Root Galore, the Aussie Bowls, and the Jack.
it is a very, very important subject, your skincare, Val, and I cannot encourage people out there enough to really take care of their skin.
Yep, not just if you're outside all the time. It's just important to take care of it. Your body is a temple. Kelsey not far away, missing high. Roger Barnes, the standard of Aussie men's and women's squads is of a very high standard, and it is. You've got to be at the top of your game to be picked in this Australian 5. And Baz, you've been picked on it on many occasions and have been in the top echelon for such a long time and still continue to perform at the highest level. It's an amazing thing to, maintain your spot in this national lineup for such a long time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of heartache out there on the green from all three players, but this game will throw that at you from a selection point of view, from a trophy winning point of view, as Kelsey tries to go again and kill this end. But it's how you respond, how you keep backing up day after day, week after week. And you see these three players out there, and Dawny's been knocking on the door for a five-a-side for a while. She's cracked it into the World Championship team. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And Kelsey and Lindsay, well, across their journey, they've had some missed selections. They've had, been close to winning some big titles that have eluded them. But the reason they're out there now and the reason why they're so good is they're so determined, tenacious, and they know how to just get the best out of themselves in training and preparation.
Yeah, they do. Consummate professionals. Final end of the match. Israel get their first multiple since the 9th end of the match and just their second of the contest. The Australians lead at 28-8 with 12 bowls to come. They will play South Africa. Who joins them in the quarterfinal stage from this group is still yet to be determined, because Hong Kong, China lead Ireland 15-11. They've scored a 3 and then a 1. But the Irish just need to score 2 more shots and get it to within that 3 that they need. They lose by 2 or less, they're through. If they tie it or win, they're through. So, good start from Carney Amit. Great to have Brent Forsyth watching on from sunny Tassie. Good part of the world down there. Beck Van Ash territory.
Yeah, I'll be coming down in November, so g'day, how are you?
You are going down? A couple of coaching clinics, Barry?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Brent and the gang down there, off to Kingborough Bowls Club, Sandy Bay, Claremont, and then heading up to Launceston, Trevellyn. So can't wait. Spend a week in Tassie doing some clinics. Really excited. Love Tasmania. Beautiful countryside. Great people. And always great memories. First debuted for Victoria in State Bowls in Tasmania. At the Sandy Bay Bowls Club, my first ever game was.
Very nice.
And you've got Rosny Park overlooking the water there, the bay. Such beautiful clubs, and as you say, the home of the great Rebecca Van Ash. As Dawn Heyman says, I will just finish up with a bowl 10 inches away and head in for lunch.
Yep. Should be pretty happy with that, and her performance has been pretty good. Steve Barnard, Barry Lester, if you haven't written a book, you probably should.
Thanks, Steve. It probably won't be a book if I do some kind of tutorial stuff. I'll probably do some kind of video series in the modern way of trying to assist players and clubs out there. But thank you. I little bit busy at the moment, but it's something that potentially on the radar. How about a title, Steve? You can help get things rolling in that.
You've already got the title.
No,
it's got to be just blessed. That's it.
Okay.
I'll give you the title.
Lindsay Clark. Well, what about you, Val? What about your title for Lindsay's?
Just could be
Lindsay's last story you write about her come end of World Champs.
It depends. The last international story, it depends on how we go about it. There'll probably be an interview at some stage after the tournament. Clark ends career on high. Doesn't have to be too strenuous, but maybe we can think of something.
Okay. Looking good here. Amalia, well, shave of the front, shave of the back, but not the shot. Great effort.
So can the Australians end the sectional round on 30 with a score of 30, sorry?
Lindsay all over this again here. Just a matter of not moving the jack for me. It's the only thing that can cost her a little bit of drama, and she's played it perfect for 3.
Yep.
Yeah, once flew into a little airport called Wynyard Airport in north part of Tasmania there, Val, and I'm a good flyer, I must admit. I fly a lot, but that particular day it was very windy, and I was only in a little propeller plane.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. We did one of those from Rome to Croatia last year, flying over the Mediterranean. It was interesting. It felt like one of those planes that a kid pulls out of their toy chest and just throws. Not bad from Brent Forsyth. Lindsay's legacy.
Okay, last couple of deliveries between Israel and Australia.
Amalia Levy has been very good today. She's toiled hard in that second battle against Lindsay Clark. She'll drift through.
Yep. Kelsey on the backhand. Just trying to cover and count ideally. So that bowl over there at sort of 4 o'clock. She can just draw inside that and stay around. Well, she's just going to slide through, so...
Sorry, I apologise. It was Root that bowled that before. I looked at the white pants and thought it was Amalia, but it was Root Galore. So it's her final bowl of the match.
Well, there's been shots galore scored by Australia in this match.
I was trying to get something in like that, but it just hasn't really worked.
And to be exact, so far, it's going to be 31 of them, Val.
Yep. And Kelsey will try and pop in another, make it 32. Very good by you. I'm glad one of us was able to get that in.
Kelsey Cottrell, last bowl of the match, backhand. Looking to take a yard of weight off. She's looking very good. Is it going to make it? Not quite.
But they will get to 30, Barry Lester, and they end the sectional round with a massive victory, 31-8. Australia over Israel. Dawn Heyman, Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell are primed to face South Africa in the quarterfinals tomorrow at Club Helensvale. We'll be back in just over an hour's time, 2:45 p.m. Australian local for the next match. We'll update you as to what that is once we come on air. We're going to leave you in the dark for that for now. But Barry Lester, thank you very much.
Great job, Val.
Been an absolute pleasure bringing you this women's triples match. Australia defeating Israel 31-8. They finish the group on top of the table and will play South Africa in the quarterfinals tomorrow.